And he also discussed briefly vitamin D3, iodine, and how all of these are available from the Veg 1 supplement that's been produced by the Vegan Society. At previous events, we noticed there's a lot of interest from members of the Jain community asking where they could get this. So we've decided to bring 30 bottles that will be available to buy outside for £6.50 for 90 days supply. So they'll be out on the display on the table on the left as you exit. Tushar also mentioned this book called Vegan for Life, which summarizes lots of information about plant-based health and nutrition, and has got easy to follow guidelines. I know there was a lot to take in today's talk. This is a really useful reference book. It's also got recipe suggestions. And for anyone who's got interest in children or pregnancy or breastfeeding, it's got 2 chapters dedicated to that, with lots of useful information there as well. And finally, so that's available for £10. And there's also the Miss Cupcake cookery book. So I've used the egg replacement ideas that are in this book, which are very useful. My mum and my wife, Anuja, have made incredible desserts using this book, and I highly recommend it for anyone that is interested in doing eggless or vegan or eggless baking. I'm going to say a lot of the recipes aren't that healthy, so they're not consistent with what you just learned today, but occasionally as a treat. So we've got 3 copies of this book available, and they're £14, and I also got them signed by the author yesterday at VegFest, so they're signed copies if you want to pick them up. Right, so that's it for books. Sorry.
I have one thing to mention before you do the shut up then.
Okay, sure. And if I could ask Anuja to come up and do announcements for Young Jains, and then we can have SCP as well.
So, Jayjanendra, everyone. Firstly, a huge thank you to Dr. Tushar for joining us on this amazing event. I think from the audience, the tickets sold out immediately from having launched, and I think both organisations were really surprised with how quickly they'd gone. So I think it really shows that there's appetite in the Jain community for events like these. So thank you so much. Just a brief announcement. So hopefully many of you will know Young Jains. Young Jains is a UK-based Jain organisation that aims to spread Jain Dharma in the Western world. And we've got some great events coming up, so I just want to make a couple of announcements for some of them. We've got another American-based speaker coming, Mehta. He's California-based, and he's going to do an amazing talk, a really inspirational talk called Being the Change, and that's Friday, 4th of November, and that's going to be happening in central London, near Baker Street, so hopefully conveniently located for many people after work, hopefully. Some of our regular monthly events that we run include Sweet Harmony, which is a monthly Purply session, which is the first Monday of every month. We also do a regular Seva opportunity, which is feeding the homeless, which normally happens in Holborn, which is every second Monday of the month, so keep a lookout on our bulletin. We also run yoga every Sunday. So again, all of these details are on our bulletin, and another Seva opportunity coming up later this year is Crisis at Christmas, which is specifically helping to volunteer, whether that's through your professional duties or even general seva over Christmas and apt time to service. So for any of you that don't already get Young Jains details, please take a look on our website, our Facebook page, or sign up to our bulletin for further events. And thank you all for coming. I'll hand over to Mehta for SCDP.
Thanks, Anuja. Certainly echo Anuja's comments. Tushar, for a wonderful talk, food for thought for all of us to walk away from here today. Again, for those of you who are not aware, SCVP or Sri Channa Vidyapith is a school, Jain school that's been running for over 20 years in London. One of the first Jain schools that was established here in London. We've actually started now from the age of 3 upwards. They go all the way up to the age of 16. At which point they become youth teachers, and we also have a vibrant adult class. So this term we've been running 2 separate adult class sessions. One is an in-depth learning of the Tattva Sutra, and the other one is entitled Living with Awareness. So it's teaching Marvel Bhagwan's teachings living with awareness. The school is value-based, so it's very much around understanding friendship, around understanding selflessness, voluntary. So it's a lot of interference. So it's based on value. So certainly encourage anyone who's not been to the school, come and visit the school. It's run every Friday during term time at Kingsbury High School in Princess Avenue. We have more details in terms of the flyers. So I'm only going to talk about, we've got 4 events coming up between now and the end of this term in December. And let's see if hopefully I'll remember all 4 of the dates. So we've got an important Jain festival coming up. We've got Diwali coming up at the end of this week. So to celebrate that, firstly on Saturday the 29th of October, we have a Bhakti session at Kenton Devasa between 8:30 and 10:30. So this is really, hopefully everyone will have a spiritual uplifting. It's open to all the family, bring your children along and join in with some bhakti for a couple of hours at Kenton Devasa. So that's Saturday 29th of October. Then the 4th of November, unfortunately it does clash with one of the events that young Jains have. We have the Gnan Pancham event at our school on Friday the 4th of November. And again, this is an important event for all of us because of the spiritual knowledge and the teachings that we've received. This is our chance to offer gratitude to that and pay respect to that and understand the significance of what that knowledge really is. So we've got a wonderful event on the 4th of November at our school. All are welcome. Again, we've got some flyers at the table at the front, and all the details are on our website. We've got 2 other events. So as mentioned, SCVP and Virayathan are very much focused on Seva. So one of the events we've got on the 27th of November, Sunday the 27th of November, is tree planting. This is something that we did in March this year, a really enjoyable event. Lots of children and adults got involved, and we planted somewhere in the region of over 120 trees, if I remember. So a really enjoyable event. It's going to be for about 2 to 3 hours on Sunday the 27th of November. Not very far from here. It's in St. Albans, so it's about 25-30 minutes away from here. But a wonderful way to reflect and do some seva and remember people along the way. Finally, to close off our term, we finish our terms on the 10th of December. We have an end-of-year celebration, so we're actually organized a Garba event with a difference. Again, it's open to the whole family, which is the emphasis for SCVP, so that's on Saturday, the 10th of December. All the events, again, the details are on our website, and again, if you want to register and receive bulletins, then by all means, please come and talk to any one of us. Thank you very much. I'll hand it back to Sarah.
Thank you very much. I think Michelle has one announcement you wanted to make.
The presentation I made about the dairy production and cow slaughter in India, where I went through with slides of showing how many cattle are born and everything like that, I have a YouTube talk about that. It's 10 minutes long. There's one in English and one in Gujarati. And I also have a WhatsApp video of that. One is in English and one is in Hindi. So I'm hoping that, in India, it's very hard to convince and show people about this kind of subject, and it's hard to make them understand, even if they've seen videos. They don't realize why it's happening. They think it's a small amount of cases, but they don't realize sort of the math. So if we can forward the WhatsApp video to some of the leaders here, and then you can forward it, and you can forward it, and everybody forwards it to all of their contacts, especially the contacts in India, then people over there will slowly start to get the idea of what's going on, and that's one thing that we can really be proactive about. So I'll send it to a few people, and please consider forwarding it from there. And send the English and the Hindi together, That way, whatever language people speak, it can be effective. Thanks.
In fact, there are lots of key takeaways from Tushar's talk, so we'll work together. Everyone that registered for the event today, we've got their email address, so we'll send out follow-up information for you to either find out more, a link to Tushar's reference list, some of the guidelines, and also links to some of other Tushar's talks. Right, so before we close, the last thing is the Shavapna, the forgiveness prayer. So if you could all recite first, I'm actually not sure what language, is it in Sanskrit or Hindi? Okay, we'll do that first and then in English.
May I forgive all souls, may all souls forgive me. My friendship extends to all, my
Okay, thank you everyone. On behalf of Young Janes UK and SCVP, thank you very much.